I need you to focus. Complete silence as we walk up on this 1971 El Camino. Take a close look, because this El Camino, it is a one of one. Walk down the line here. El Camino SS 454. Take a close look, because something on this car that you're seeing right now makes it a one of one. Do you see it? Do you see it? I see it. This is gonna be a great episode of Cars, Shops, and Collections, a one of one. Well, officially, welcome to Cars, Shops, and Collections. My name is JC, and every week we put the spotlight on really incredible cars. As I mentioned in the beginning, this is a one-of-one 1971 El Camino. I have Nick here. It's good to see you again, buddy, by the way. I love having you on the show. You always have great rides for us. Let's just, absolutely. We'll break it down, but jump into it and tell everyone what makes this El Camino a one-of-one.
Well, Bob Bailey, the owner, ordered the car from the factory with this color paint. This is a Cadillac paint, special color. There's on the paint tag, on the tag on the cowl, there is no code. So the car was pulled off the line and painted this Cadillac color from 1971, which makes it one of one.
That's crazy. It's the only one in the world with this paint color on a 1971 El Camino. And is it a true SS?
Yes, it is.
It's a true SS?
454. It's an SS with a bench seat and a column shift. Most SSs came with bucket seats and a console. He ordered this one specially, and it has air shocks, map light, a lot of air conditioning, a lot of different accessories to it that were ordered specific to the car.
And the reason why there is a Triumph in the bed of this El Camino?
Bob is a famous flat track racer from the 70s. And he used to take this car all over the country and race all the dirt tracks.
And this Bob, this is the actual bike you would race?
Yep. And he restored it too. This is all fully restored too.
Okay, so much to talk about, but we're in Henderson, Nevada. It's a gorgeous day, just outside of Las Vegas. I feel we're not doing it justice in the shade. So can we start up and just turn it around the corner?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. How cool is this? It's gonna pop when we turn around the corner here. Here's the startup of a 1971 El Camino SS 454. Whoa, yep, yeah. That color. Yeah, is this good, Gene? That's perfect. Wow. Do we want
It's a gorgeous color.
We wanted to bring Bob around, who's the owner of the El Camino. Thank you, by the way.
Well, thank you
for joining us. I appreciate it and letting us put the spotlight on your El Camino. You bought this brand new in 1971?
71, right out of the dealer's floor there. Kept it ever since. I'm the only one ever drove it.
One owner. It's a one owner, one owner car. Then how did you work it so you had this one of one paint done to it back in 1971?
It happened to be in Van Nuys. That's where they built it.
Yeah.
And every once in a while they do a test run on a color, which they did that one, and oddly they never used it in any other products, because I've looked through all the magazines.
Yeah.
And it's just that one.
That's crazy. I mean, you talk about next level rarity.
Yep.
Were you a car guy before, or were you looking, because 1971, it's a whole different front end, and 70 had the two lights, and 71 we go to one light. They changed the tail lights. Were you just looking for an El Camino in 1971?
I had been driving around the country racing with pickup trucks and that, and I thought, I'll get something that's more like a car, but I can still carry my bike to the races.
Yeah.
And the first race that I took that brand new bike with this brand new vehicle, and I got a picture of it. It's on the book. And then when I rebuilt this, I noticed that I still had the same bike. So I cleaned it up and put the two back together just like the photograph.
Go back to 1971 though, you're cruising across the country in this El Camino, racing this Triumph back here.
Yes.
I mean, that is awesome.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't get any cooler than that. Can we open it up and look inside?
Absolutely. So when Bob brought this car to us, okay, he brought it out of the trailer, wasn't running, was dead as a doornail, and it was full of all kinds of memorabilia. When we opened the door, there were pull tab Miller Lite cans, course, beer cans. There was a $20 bill stuffed underneath the seat
Was
from
it
1970.
really?
There was magazine or a newspaper or newsletters in there. There was his original credit card receipt. Just
Did you save all that stuff?
Oh yeah, I have it all. It was just a treasure trove of material that was part of the car.
Yeah.
And part of the car's history.
I'll let you go in there, Gene.
We had the original tank sticker, and it says "pull car offline" on it, and for the paint.
Yeah.
And it has all the options and everything that came with this car too.
And I've already asked this once, I'll ask it again. It is a true SS 454. It's
Yes.
a real deal.
Absolutely. The way you see it.
Yeah.
That's everything that's on this car is factory original. We detailed this car to the nines.
Came with vinyl top,
Vinyl top,
steel bed, right underneath here.
steel bed.
Steel
yes.
bed, because I mean they're classified as pickup trucks, right? In El Camino.
No,
it's
they're
classified as a car.
cars.
Okay.
Yeah, passenger cars. But everything except for the floor mats. Floor mats are aftermarket, but
Floor mats are aftermarket, but is this
the original radio,
Yeah.
air conditioning,
AM
kill
FM?
column,
Hey, that was an
AM,
upgrade.
FM.
AM FM upgrade.
Yep. Everything is original to the car.
But okay, a couple things. So yes, you know the SS. You have the SS
Steering wheel
steering wheel, but also the gauges,
Gauges,
because the non-SS had the kind of parallel.
had the straight square box.
Yeah,
on the
horizontal.
Chevelle, right.
Yeah, horizontal. But so the column shifter, I've never seen that on SS.
It was an option. It wasn't an option. Bob ordered it that way because he wanted to have his crew chief and his wife with him when he went racing. So to have bucket seats in a console and have somebody sit on the console all the time was a challenge. So he ordered it with the bench seat and the shifter on the column.
Why do I feel like that makes it even more rarer?
It does.
Besides the paint and then the column shifter, true SS. Can we see under the hood? See the 454?
Absolutely.
Bob, you got some great memories in this car, I take it then?
Yeah, right from the beginning. Went to Washington, D.C. for a national for the TT. And that was the first run. Next thing we were in Daytona Beach, the road racing.
We went from D.C. down to Daytona. And then do you think you drove literally across the country in this car?
I've been well, the picture is crossing from Oregon into Washington for a race up there. And then just through the season, there was 26 races through the season. And this got me there, and then all the little races in between at the local tracks.
We could make a movie out of this.
Oh, absolutely.
We can make a movie out of this.
You need to go to his garage and see the history of bikes that he has.
Oh, we will. We will.
And memorabilia.
This is what I love about this show. People like Bob, people like you. Whoa, people like you, Nick. Okay, the real deal. 454 from 1971.
365 horse.
Whoa.
Motor's been rebuilt. Transfer. Everything. Every nut and bolt, completely off this car.
This is stunning.
And it was all I did the complete ground up restoration.
The 454 back in 1970 did have more horsepower, correct?
In 70, yes.
70.
They had the LS6 option.
Okay.
Yes, which was 475 horse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but really it was like 600 horse. 600 horse. But yeah, they detuned them in 71 because of pollution standards and stuff like that.
Some
They put a
changes
lower
happening.
compression. This one has the hydraulic cam in it, not a solid lifter cam. It has the cast iron heads, not the aluminum heads, so that's why you have the lower horsepower.
Did you
It's
ever get?
more of a torque monster.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Kind of the same torque as a 1970, pretty close to it, right?
Pretty close, yeah. Yeah.
Did you ever get pulled over back in the 70s, cruising around?
We're going too fast?
Yes.
I think I got lucky.
It has cruise control.
Okay.
It has the cowl induction hood, which is all functional.
Yeah.
Air conditioning. Everything works like the day it came out off the showroom floor.
And then how hard was it then to this paint, unique to 1971, you restore it How hard was it to get the actual matching paint?
Well, that's a story in itself. What happened was we had the car stripped, and it was blasted. And when we got it back, I was like, "Oh, I'll just pull the coat off of the paint tag off the front of the cowl, up there in the corner."
Right up here, Gene.
Well, up there, there's supposed to be a paint code. Where there's no code, there's nothing. So that means, you know, of course, again, it's a special car. So we had these pieces laying around. So we had to have a Prophet, which is a camera that takes a picture to match the color, and that's how we came up with it.
And it's spot on?
Spot on. Yeah. Spot on.
You know, that's what I love about this show is people like you, Nick, meeting people like Bob. Just everyone that watches the show, I truly appreciate it. This past month, and you've been a supporter, this past month alone, so we're on YouTube. We're also on Instagram, Car Shops and Collections. And then on Facebook, it's under my name, JC Fernandez. Past 28 days, the channel has over 5 million views.
Absolutely,
it's just
wonderful.
Thank you, everyone, for supporting it. And people like you, Bob, you know, showing us your cars and history. I do want to just walk around and check out the bed of it real fast.
Yes. And I want to thank you for, you know, coming to our shop and letting us, you know, present these cars to you to do on your show too. And, you know, we'll have many more in the future.
I think everyone that watches is waiting for that Trans Am.
Oh, that one, yeah, that's going to be a head turner.
Because I did a little teaser video, like 10 seconds, and that alone has 225,000 views. Wow. So people want the Trans Am. People want the Trans Am. Can we open up?
Yes. And it's as clean underneath as it is as you see it up on top.
We have a huge motorcycle following. I'm sure we could probably do a whole episode on the fact that this was the Triumph that you were racing?
At that same time. So it's the one, like I said, it's on the picture, 71. That's the bike that was in the back. That picture was taken.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's next level.
That's why
it is next level
I sent
cool.
the picture to you. I knew you would love it.
It is next level cool. Both of you guys are next level cool. The spare tire, is that how it was?
No, actually it fits behind the seat.
Okay.
And Bob, because, you know, of his health, wanted a little more leg room.
Yeah.
So we made some brackets to push the seat back in the spare tire.
Do you still drive it today?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If I can keep him out of it.
I think I drive it more than he does now. I'm just kidding.
Well, we'll get the pictures, but I'm sure like this was all probably dinged up from hauling the motorcycle around and stuff.
It wasn't too bad. These are the original ones, and we just polished them up.
No kidding.
Like
Come on.
Yeah, these ones on the corner were re-chromed, and they didn't look good, so we ended up getting new ones and then having them
But that's the real,
But they're the original stuff. A lot of the parts on this car are original to the car. We just refurbished it, or had it re-chromed or repolished.
But 70, okay, I thought 71 had the round taillights.
No, that's for the car.
That's for the Chevelle.
Right,
okay.
right. But all the El Caminos from 68 up until 73 had that
makes sense because makes complete. The Chevelle had the rounds.
Right,
in 71. Okay.
And then one of the things too about the El Camino with the different years was the reverse lights are in the tailgate.
Yeah.
The 68, 69 were in the bumper. So there was some differences between them.
Okay. Perfect. Well, this has been, and we'll put the pictures in, but I do want to show just real quick that this restoration book that they have, so you can kind of see here, just the work that they did on it.
And that's from the beginning to the end.
I mean, that's how it was. Same wheels then?
Yes.
Woo!
Yes. He had slots on it, a bigger tire, and for hauling purposes, and he still has those, but we didn't put them back on the car.
Is that the old school blue California tag?
And it's still on here.
I didn't even pick up on that.
Yep.
Oh.
That's his original plate from California.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the to me, that's one of the coolest plates out there. The old school blue, California, blue and yellow. Nevada were blue, the old school one's blue too, right?
I'm not sure.
The one from the 60s and stuff?
And then you had the black and gold in California too.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'll put this back in. This is so awesome.
Some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
you kidding me?
And
this
history
is incredible.
about this car. It's amazing.
Yeah, incredible history. And just the way it looks right now and how it pops in the sun. One of one owner, legendary motorcycle racer, legendary car. Seriously, this is just the ultimate right now. Good? Good?
Absolutely.
I think we're good. Thank you, Bob. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for sharing this piece of automotive history.
buddy.
And you, man. Appreciate you.
Love you.
Gene behind the camera, thank you too for filming all these episodes and editing, and thank you all for watching. Anything you want to see, let me know. Comments and stuff like that. We did a Chrysler Conquest. That thing took off.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
So what do you want
Those are
to see?
rare, too.
Very, you can't find them here in town.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. If you want your car, shop, or collection featured on the show, then shoot us an email at carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. That's carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of Cars, Shops, and Collections.